All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Inferno. Back at it with the very first throwback tunes on the very first Thursday of the new year and the new decade. So yes, it is 2020, and we're gonna start this off with Meet the Girl Next Door by Lil Mo. So I reviewed her debut album last week, and now here's her second studio album right here. So this joint came out April 29th, 2003, and was recorded from 2001 up to 2003 under Elektra Records and WEA Records, and what did that stand for again? Warner Music Group. So, well, I guess the good say it's now Warner's Music Group, but you get the point. All right, the producers involved were Bastiani, Brian Michael Cox, Warren Campbell, Missy Elliott, Lil Mo, Craig Love, Walter Millsat III, Precision, and Chunky Thompson. So there you go with that. So, a little bit of background info on this joint. So, this was her last album produced under Elektra Records, as well as the last to feature a collaboration with close friend and rapper and producer Missy Elliott. And this was recorded during Lil Mo's 8-month pregnancy, which is very interesting if I do say so myself. Alright, so more background info. So less than a year after Mo's debut album was certified gold by the RIAA, she began recording a follow-up to the album. She decided to work with producers that, quote, didn't get the credit they deserved, end quote. In 2012, Lil Mo developed an interest in communications after her work as a part-time anchor for Baltimore urban radio station WXYV-FM. That same year, Mo began work on her second album and revealed to Billboard magazine that she was going to purposely use a different sound for the effort in hopes of convincing the public to overlook her credibility for Superwoman Part 2. Okay, so there you go with that. Oh, here's some more info. Promotion for the album was limited, although, according to Lil Mo rather, this was largely due to the fact that she was pregnant and Elektra did not give her proper support, which is very interesting. Despite minimal promotion, Mo went on to perform the album singles on very few shows, including Jimmy Kimmel Live and Soul Train, which is pretty cool, if I do say so myself. All right, let's take a look at how it did in the charts. So this joint was 17th on the US Billboard Hot 100 and number 4th on the US Top Rap/Hip Hop Albums charts. It was not gold, did not get any certifications by any stretch, any way, shape, or form, unfortunately. All right, let's take a look at the tracks. So here's the thing about this joint. So there's 16 tracks. However, this album was re-released in 2011, and they added 2 more tracks to that. But we're gonna focus on the original joint. So yeah, let's get to it. So this joint is gonna start off with the first track, which is called Intro, obviously. All right, moving on. Next track is Why Do We Fall in Love, not to get confused with Why Don't We Fall in Love, which is by A-Marie. Okay, moving on. Track number 3 is called Doing Me Wrong, followed by the number 4Ever. So that's all one word, if you can call it a word. 4Ever, featuring Fabolous. And that was actually her first single. Yes, her first single off of this album, if memory serves me correctly. Well, it's complicated. We'll get more on the dates and stuff later. And then her next single, where the next track is another single off this album, which is called 10 Commandments, featuring Lil Kim and Nino Storm. We'll get more on that title later. Track number 6 is called Ain't No Reason, followed by Heaven, which is an interlude, but it's still a song, actually. The whole thing is a song. We get more on that later. Track number 8 is called Brand New, and You. Next up is First Time, you know, the number 1, then ST, First Time. So that's how it's spelled. Track number 10 is called So Lost Without You, followed by Shoulda Known. Yeah, SHOULDA, Shoulda. That's why I said it like that. Shoulda Known. Track number 12 is called Disturbing Phone Call, interlude, in parentheses. So that's a skit. So that's the second skit off this album. Track number 13 is called Get Over It, followed by It's Your World. Then track number 15 is the third and final skit off this album called Letter From My Number 1 Fan. So, you know, the number symbol. Number 1 fan. And that's the interlude. And then there's the last track off this album, just so happens to be called Letter to My Number 1 Fan. So there you go with that. All right, so let's look at the re-release bonus tracks. There's 2 of them. So the first one is called 21 Answers featuring Free. We'll get more on that later. And then after that, we got Forever. And then in parentheses, the MIDI Mafia Reggae Remix. So Yeah, there you go with that. So let's look at the, I'm not sure if you can call this the first single, but you know what? Yeah, we can look at it. Okay, so this joint is obviously Forever, and this the joint featured Fabolous. So there's a music video for this one right here. And prior to its official physical release, the song was serviced to radio stations throughout airplay in early December 2002. And upon its release, critics referred to the single as an up-tempo Reading oldie. Very interesting. So this joint came out February 18th, 2003. And yes, there is a music video for this as well. And of course, Fabolous is in the music video. And it did make the charts. It was 37th on the US Billboard Hot 100, 13th on the US Billboard Hot R&B/Hip Hop Singles and Tracks, and it was 24th on the US Billboard Rhythmic Top 40. All right, so that's take care of that. Let's look at the next quote-unquote single. They called it that, I guess. And it's called 10 Commandments. So this joint was released in radio airplay October 25th, 2002, but it got a vinyl release on March 4th, 2003. So the vinyl version came out after Forever's vinyl version did. All right, so background info on this one. Let's start with the name. Why is it called 10 Commandments? Well, check this out. The song features a distinctive sample of the Notorious B.I.G.'s 10 Crack Commandments. There you go, which I did review, by the way. Featuring production by DJ Premier. The Biggie sample was also used in reference for Lil Kim's feature, much similar to another single, Let It Go, which will follow the same concept 4 years later. And that was Let It Go song was by Keisha Cole. And apparently, let me see, looked like Lil Kim and Missy Elliott was a part of that as well. But that's another story for another day. Moving on. When asked on the meaning of the song, Lil Mo told MTV News, and I quote here, "It was to let ladies know how to keep your man. Stop telling all your homegirls all your business and problems. The ones that be like, girl, he ain't no good, are the main ones trying to holler at your man. So you're gonna call me. Sometimes you have to think for yourself." In addition, Lil Mo told Honey Magazine that Lil Kim's feature was the quote-unquote perfect match for the song. Yeah, I kind of agree with that one, but yeah, we'll get more of that later. All right, it did make a chart though. It was #1 on the US Billboard, bubbling under Hot R&B/Hip Hop Songs charts. Very interesting. All right, so even though this was not a part of the original album, let's look at 21 Answers. So 21 Answers is a remix by Lil Mo and former 106 & Park co-host Free, which was released as an answer track to 21 Questions, which was done by 50 Cent. And that joint came out March 4, 2003. And this song was recorded in 2003, and was released that same year as well. So, Kevin Dirty Swift Wisto, one half of MIDI Mafia, originally penned the idea of creating a female response record. He immediately got in touch with Lil Mo and Free to do the mix. The song then premiered on New York's Hot 97 radio station, resulting in numerous rotations on various radio stations around the country, and later debuted on Billboard Hot R&B/Hip Hop Songs charts at number 77. Although the song went on to spend 11 weeks on the chart, based solely on airplay, it failed to see a release on Lil Mo's sophomore album, Meet the Girl Next Door, which is around reviewing right now, obviously, due to the song not being finalized in time to meet the album's deadline. So there you go with that. However, because of Elektra's 2004 merger with Atlantic, the song appeared on 2011's re-release of this album. And also it did make 2 more charts. It was 51st on the US, where it's actually, okay, we'll get on that chart in a second. But yeah, it was 51st in the US Billboard Hot R&B/Hip Hop airplays. But it started off at 77, but it went as high as 50 on the US Billboard Hot R&B/Hip Hop Songs charts. So there you go with that. All right, so with all that info out the way, I can give you guys my favorite tracks off this album from first to worst, or from worst to first, rather. And I'm not gonna count 10 Commandments, because basically it's almost the same beats as 10 Crack Commandments. All they did was they added strings to try and make this beat sound R&B-ish. But I'm gonna be honest with you, this should not have been used as an R&B track. This should not have been on Lil Mo's track. I'm gonna be honest with you, like it don't fit. It don't fit at all. All right, let's move on. Doing Me Wrong is the worst track off this album. The tempo is cool, melody is cool. There's no bass, so that hurt the track. Kick is straight. The snap/snare. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. That combination were cool. Overall, the track is cool. Next up is Letter to My Number One Fan. The tempo is cool, same with the melody. The beat is straight, it's just not impactful though. The kick is straight, the snare is cool. Overall, the track is still cool nevertheless. Shoulda Known. The tempo is cool, melody is cool, same with the bass and the kick and the snare. Overall, the track is cool. Next up is So Lost Without You. The tempo is cool, same with the melody. The bass is really cool. The kick is straight. The snare/snaps are really cool. Overall, the track is cool. Next up, Ain't No Reason. The tempo is cool. Beat pattern is cool. Melody is cool. The bass is cool. Kick is cool. Snare is cool. Overall, the track is cool. Then we got First Time. Tempo is cool. Drum pattern is cool. Melody is cool. Same with the bass and the kick. The snare/snap combo are really cool. And overall, the track is cool. Then we got It's Your World. The tempo is really cool. Same with the melody. The bass is cool. The kick is cool with the bass. So yeah, keep those two together. The snare is really cool. The melody, like, here's the thing about this track. Like, dude, there's potential here because the melody, which is really cool, do not go with the drums, which are really cool as well. So it's like this should have been 2 separate tracks. One with the melody as the main focal point, because the melody was really cool, and another one with the drums are the focal point, because the drums are really cool, but they just don't mesh together in my opinion. So there's potential here for this to be like 2 separate tracks, but as one track, I don't know. Like either change the wait. It's tough. This should have been 2 tracks, like I said. But despite all that, the track is still cool nevertheless. Next up is Get Over It. The tempo is really cool. The drum pattern is cool. The melody is really cool. The lack of a bass hurts. Ooh, guys, hurts. Kick is really cool and really powerful. The snare is cool, but could have got a better snare, to be honest. There's some potential here because of that snare. Overall, the track is cool. Then we got Why Do We Fall in Love. The tempo is cool. The melody is cool. Same with the bass. The kick is cool, but needs a bit more of it. The snare is really cool. Overall, the track is cool. All right, the third best track off this album. So now we now down to our top 3. Heaven Interlude. This joint, wow. The tempo is cool. The melody is really cool, especially for the verse. The bass is cool. The kick is cool. Snare is really cool. Overall, the track is cool. Second best track off this album, Forever. The tempo is really cool. Melody is cool. Bass is cool. The kicks are really cool. The snare is really cool. Percussions are really cool. The drums and tempo made this track without question. And overall, the track is really cool. And the best track off this album is Brand New. So yeah, they sample that. You make me feel brand new. So yeah, they use that melody. But the tempo is really cool. And with, you know, the melody/sample here is really cool. The bass is cool. Kick is cool. The snare is really cool. The toms are really cool. And overall, the track is really cool. So yeah, Brand New, best track off this album, followed by Forever and Heaven. And Why Do We Fall in Love? Like, that's really cool as well. And same with Get Over It. All right, let me give you guys some professional ratings for this album. And the problem is I don't see any. So, yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, no, I do see a critical response. So, reviews for the album were mostly positive. Unlike her debut album, Meet the Girl Next Door was given 4 out of 5 stars by Andy Kellman of AllMusic, who described Mo's voice more rangy and versatile. He also stated that the album had terrific highlights, as well as better lyrics than her debut. However, he described the album being 4 songs too long. What? Okay, moving on. He also stated that it's apparent that Lil Mo really ought to devote the bulk of her working time, if not all of it, to making music. Okay, so there you go with that. So we got a 4 out of 5 stars from AllMusic's Andy Kellman. So what do I think about this album? Well, I agree. This is a much better album than Based on a True Story. This is a much better album. I'm gonna have to give this one a 3.75 out of 5. I recommend you download it and you keep it. So again, very good songs in here like Brand New, Forever, which was a single. That was a pretty good one as well. Why Do We Fall in Love? And there was 2 more. Heaven and Get Over It. So yeah, those 5 tracks really, really dope. 10 Commandments, I mean, it's the Biggie beat. If you want to hear that beat, just, go listen to Life After Death. You know, and I did review that album, by the way. So yeah, again, 3.75 out of 5 stars. I recommend you download it and you keep it. So that would do it for your boy. And with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is your boy New J Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.